Good morning. It's Monday, May the 17th, and our gospel reading is Luke chapter 9, and I'll begin reading at verse 51. And when the days drew near for him to be taken up, he set his face to go to Jerusalem, and he sent messengers ahead of him. And on their way they entered a village of the Samaritans to make ready for him. But they did not receive him, because his face was set towards Jerusalem. And when his disciples, James and John, saw it, they said, "Lord, do you want us to command fire to come down from heaven and consume them?" But he turned and rebuked them. And then they went on to another village. And as they were going along the road, someone said to him, "I will follow you wherever you go." And Jesus said to him, "Foxes have holes, and the birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head." And to another he said, "Follow me." But he said, "Lord, first let me go and bury my father." But Jesus said to him, "Let the dead bury their own dead. But as for you, go and proclaim the kingdom of God." Another said, "I will follow you, Lord, but let me first say farewell to those at my home." And Jesus said to him, "No one who puts a hand to the plow and looks back is fit for the kingdom of God." This is the gospel of Christ. Now Jesus passes through this Samaritan village. Now, there's a stark contrast to his visit with the Samaritan woman at the well. There he lingered to rest and eat. He spent time talking with her, an outcast. His presence had a profound impact, not only on her life, but the entire village. Now in today's gospel, Jesus is distracted. His focus is set towards Jerusalem. Now, Jesus must have had a sense of what awaited him there, his arrest and the possibility of death. But he also knew that this was his path to walk, his purpose to fulfill. Now, those around him have very different reactions. The villagers snub him. They haven't prepared a welcome or rushed out to listen to him. But I believe that even in Jesus' determination to reach Jerusalem, he would have made time to teach or heal anyone who came to him. Now we too can get so caught up in everyday life that we don't seek to spend time with Jesus. Now his disciples feel insulted and want to bring down fire from heaven to destroy the people. To the disciples, Jesus' response is harsh, but one also filled with compassion. He doesn't wish them harm. Instead, decides to simply move on. So the villagers have missed out on an opportunity to be with Jesus. And like the disciples, we can feel hurt or angry when our good works go unrewarded. But instead, can we just let it go and move on? Now on their way, one says to Jesus, "I will follow you wherever you go." But Jesus warns, there won't be the comfort of a roof or a soft bed. See, there are times we are eager to follow Jesus, but then are unwilling to pay the cost. Maybe it's to face criticism or an uncomfortable situation. Then Jesus invites some to follow him. Now one replies that he must first bury his father. Another, just let me go home to say goodbye. If we keep waiting for the right time to follow, we will get distracted by things that demand our attention. There may be times when we feel a specific call to serve or act. Like Jesus, a call to set our face towards our Jerusalem. Now what this looks like will be different for each of us, and likely keep on changing. Now, the way will not be neatly laid out with a convenient roadmap. It requires a willingness to seize opportunities and step out in faith. There will be times when we need to take care of unresolved things from our past in order to move forward. Just don't get stuck there. We are shaped by our past, but we are to be in the present and look toward the future. Now, Jesus asks us for a commitment. and sometimes it will require sacrifice. Now, this doesn't mean we neglect our family or neighbors, or that we spend hours reading our Bibles instead of doing laundry or vacuuming, or that we will be called to drop everything and serve in a remote jungle. Now, discipleship is a word that tends to carry a lot of baggage, but it is simply living in an awareness of God's presence and an openness to respond when we feel the nudge to speak or act or just be present. Too often we get caught up in the enormity of an imagined grand sacrifice, or feel discouraged. One person can't possibly make a difference. But discipleship is not something we do alone. Our obedience is lived out in community. Now, most of us are called to simply live ordinary lives filled with mundane tasks, with joy. It takes both courage and determination to wake up each morning to repeat the same routine. Love defines these simple acts as discipleship. I read this quote from Browning, which I think captures the essence of what it means to be a disciple of Christ. Earth is full of heaven, and every common bush is alive with God. You see, it's to see God in every situation, every task, and every person, to fill each ordinary moment with God's love and grace, and to live in the wonder at the exquisite mystery. So we all need to ask, what does it mean for me to be a disciple of Christ? Well, the answer may encourage you to finally do that thing that you keep putting off for the someday when. It may feel exciting, challenging, or even scary. Jesus' invitation is, follow me. And that calling will be as unique as each of us. We are assured of his presence, and there will be those who come alongside to cheer us across the finish line. So friends, encourage one another and keep each other safe. God bless. Until next time.